I was looking at some of the headlines. This isn't really funny, but it's funny because what is happening here? Yeah, anyway. So, Fox News paused their coverage as President Trump addressed the press on Thursday as the conflict in the Middle East continues on its 13th day. Yes, all our petrol prices have gone up, thanks, Trump. Didn't you think of that? Already poor enough as it is because you've taken it all and made this big empire of women and everything, and young women and boys and men and all that crap, and even if it's not real, that's what you're being thrown at. Oh yes, and sexual abuse. Sorry, but you know, come on. These people are supposed to be your rulers. Look at them all. Anyway, he says that basically, this reporter says, have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there are inside US right now? And he responded, I have been, and a lot of people came through in Joe Biden and his stupid border. Oh, it's just not true. That is just not true. Each man does his damage. So if you think things are getting better, they'll come in and damage it. Biden damaged, Keir Starmer is damaged. You know, they do their damage. I suppose I hadn't really thought about it quite like that. It was Dave's wife, as I was going about things when they came, and it wasn't even as bad as this. And she said, yes, but they've done their damage. Yeah, so the damage about Iran is so that the prices go up, and it all frightens us because we think the Middle East, oh my God, there's going to be another big war. But we did all this. We did all this. We watched it all for hours and hours. But anyway, let's just put the video on. So hopefully you've read Fox pause for breaking Trump alert in humiliating blow. Yes, because in the middle of this thing where this conversation's going on, the reporter says, do you realise how many Iranis there could be cells in America? And he hasn't got a clue, has he? Because he probably wasn't expecting that kind of... Well, no, they do everything on purpose, don't they? Everything is on purpose. The press, the news, the media are not going to put this kind of thing out unless it's the game. But he sounds like he's totally out of control. And even if he didn't do it, why are they going for him? Obviously somebody wants a huge, great big change right now. Yes, let's carry on. But come on. Even if he resigns, that's him, his brother, and his brother's wife. That's 3 of them. And those are the ones that have come out right now. But there's hundreds more names. Why this all didn't happen then? We wouldn't have had him as king anyway. But look. What difference does it make? If he resigns, comes in, it's still the same family. I'm not saying that William did anything, even if it's all true and not part of this game. But, come on, would you want the son after the father has done this? What does that mean? They should just go. It's disgraceful. They're not the only ones. There's obviously more royal families involved, more politicians. This is just the creaming of the top. But why is it happening? Because nothing happens unless it's on purpose. What, they're going to try and get all this past us? So like it never happened. And so that he stays and we didn't even see it. Because I'm pretty sure when people work this out a little bit, I'm not really going to be that happy with any of them. Come on, when you think Putin's in there and Trump's in there, and then they've got this Andrew and Epstein as these little trophies for being spies for Putin. Well, that's what they're threatening. No one's realised it's one system. They're all working together. Red, white and blue flags. Russia, England, America. Yeah. France. Don't pick the same. Oh, it blows my mind, but why would you want the son there after all this? Well, to be honest, they said that Charles could never marry Camilla because she'd been married before, but suddenly they've changed the rules for that one. But the reason that Charles, I'm going to say this very quickly, the reason that Charles is included now is because somehow it's got into the Epstein files. Because Andrew had to get this money from somewhere, and we did know that. But once you realise what they've done to Andrew, you kind of have to do the same thing for the king, if he helped him. This is what this little video I made when I found out the King of England helped his German cousin by emptying out one of his castles and using our soldiers, and in the middle of a war when we're fighting them. Isn't that disgusting? So here in England we're fighting them, but over there they're helping him move all the goodies out. You don't do that in the middle of a war, do you? You're on one side or the other. So there you go. So it just shows you they are all on one side, and they have a different code, the royals. Romans. To be honest, the Queen should never have been there, because she comes on this illegitimate line. How did she get really in there? How did they get in there when the Plantagenets should have been there? But that's if history's true, and that's all crazy, all that stuff with the Plantagenets and that, and the War of the Roses. That is incredible. But anyway, if they've done this to Andrew, you know, Glissy Maxwell's in prison, the king has to go. You can't just pretend, oh, well, I helped Andrew, but that's all right, isn't it? Because it's not all right. It never was all right, but suddenly, why haven't they let the whole thing out? Why don't they let it all out and just, what, are they going to spend the next 100 years bringing out this case? Anyway, thanks for listening. I just wanted to say that.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I didn't look up here.
Building this one. Look at that. Tell me it's not missing its spires. I truly believe those spires are missing. Were removed along with those heads. But this was interesting. What's this? Oh, there. This is on a church building. This is Wales Cathedral. And that's as above, so below. From within, so without. But they built this 600 or 700 years ago with horse and cart technology. Believe that?